Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have a very exciting guest with us. Hernan Martinez is with us, and Herman originally started in Argentina, went to London, and went through Stanford. And from there, he's been with a number of different companies. So Herman, it's great to have you. I'd just love to hear a little history of all the different places that you've been and worked.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much. So, what would you like me to start?
Oh, well, you,
I
you
was born in, no, I'm joking.
yeah. Well, actually, you were born in Argentina and grew up there,
Yeah.
and your family worked in Argentina.
Yeah, correct. I'm a licensed architect in Argentina, but I left 50 years ago, literally 50 years ago. I'm after getting my architectural degree, I got a postgraduate diploma in University College in London, and that was in urban planning. And after that, with a team that was connected to university, I spent some time in Africa doing housing strategy in South Sudan. And then I went back to Argentina for a couple of years to work on the family business, as well as I did some government work, especially in infrastructure and some urban projects. In 82 is when I arrived to United States to attend the business school, the Graduate School of Business at Stanford. And because I was not one of the young chickens, I had quite a lot of experience at that time. I also took several courses in the engineering school and in the Graduate School of Civil Engineering. And there I met one of my mentors in the United States, Bob Medeiros, who was a founder of Silicon Valley Bank. And I actually co-teach with him the course in the civil engineering school. It was a graduate level course until 96. And it was a very interesting time. And after that, I work in the finance, real estate finance in a mortgage company down in LA. And then I started developing again, call it big scale projects.
Right. So then you went through several different iterations of development, and so
Correct. Probably my call it call to fame, or what put me in the big leagues is they called me back in Argentina, a very big group that was trading at the same time in the Swiss Stock Exchange and the Argentinian Stock Exchange, and they had a very ambitious development project called Tren de la Costa, that means the train of the coast. And that was 11 train stations connecting three shopping centers and an entertainment center.
oh, wow.
And with all the adjacent land development, and that project became pretty well known in the ULI, in the Urban Land Institute. And that was I had the privilege, because of the reputation of the project, to meet personally at that time Gerald Hines flew especially to Argentina to visit the project, and then to meet Jerry Spire, who I think he was pretty impressed with what we have done, because he offered me the position to run Tishman Speyer for Latin America. So that was starting in 96. And the reason I remember is because Jerry said, okay, you take the job, but you cannot continue teaching at Stanford.
Oh,
So I was a consulting associate professor at Stanford. I was not how you call it, academic, valid academic, but yeah, and he was right. It was impossible to do both things at the same time. And so I
right.
decided, okay, I'm going into development full time. And I stayed with Tishman 4 years. We did several very, very nice projects, and we actually at that time not only made them, but I had to negotiate. And as I mentioned, I learned a lot, as you can imagine, from someone who Jerry and his wife Catherine, who was also an incredible real estate executive, and especially they taught me the importance of paying attention to all disciplines involved and being sure that they are all in full coordination, that there's no one running and doing their own little show. And so that was very, very, very good. After that, I really wanted to go back to United States, where I still had my home in California, but I was offered a position to run all the real estate, not only development, but all real estate operations of American Skiing Company. At that time, the second biggest ski company in mountain resort company, call it, in all North America.
Oh,
And the
wow.
first one, I think it was at that time Entrawest. The second one were us. We had 9 resorts here in the West, Steamboat, the canyons in Park City, and Heavenly in Lake Tahoe were our
Wow.
resorts. So I developed the hotel in Steamboat, a hotel in Park City. We also developed the gondola in Heavenly, but we sold the hotel after the permits to Marriott, who were very interested in buying it. So they bought it actually with a signed construction agreement.
Wow.
And then, of course, we had all the developments in the East Coast. We had 6 resorts in the East Coast. And after that, I'm trying to summarize and go a little bit fast. I think I mentioned in one of our previous conversations that in American skiing, I understood a lot the importance of having very good operations and understanding the guest experience.
Right.
So that's when my mind started opening a little bit. This is not only about the physical development of things, is you have to understand about the experience and the operations. And then in Great Wolf, where I became the president of development and I was part of the team that took it public in 94. Sorry, 94, in 2004. I think we took it public, yeah, 2004, 2005.
Right.
That was also very interesting because it opened to me a big learning experience in terms of entertainment and also the psychographics that at that time we were, I think, one of the first ones to truly use it as part of the segmentation. And we became very, very, one of the very big pioneers in the use of digital technologies and social media and in what was the resort industry. And again, what happens is when you talk about the things, there has been so many things happened in the last 20 years that it all sounds like old school, but frankly, it was at that time was very cutting edge.
Yeah.
So after that, I started doing work on my own. I did some consulting in Middle East, in Dubai.
Right. Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, remember what happened? 2008, the whole thing stops, development at least. So
Right.
if you're a developer, a real estate guy, like many other real estate big companies, you say where's their work? And of course, in Middle East, they were suffering too. So
Right.
they
Right.
thought probably the Americans can can help them. So yeah, I did some consulting work in the Middle East. Not too much, but we had a company. We created a company. I had a German partner who used to be a managing director for Gerald Hines in
Oh,
Dubai.
wow. Oh, wow.
So we created a company, and then after that, it was a few years later that I created a joint venture. It's in Costa Rica, they call it Strategic Alliance, to develop a very creative project. The architect was Jordi, but it was kind of for lack of better thing, again, now is sorry because I know now there's so many buzzwords that they get boring, but it was really something very, very unique in terms of it combined entertainment, sports. It was totally flexible under the biggest EFT roof in the world of one
Oh,
cushion,
wow.
in one cushion, and had it was analyzed and worked in three layers: the physical layer, the media layer, and the digital layer.
Oh,
And
wow.
again, that project became pretty famous, um, especially because that was the time that the shopping centers in the United States were saying, okay, we need to reinvent ourselves, correct? I don't know how they call it now. I know there's a jargon for that now, but sorry, I don't remember. But what happened at that time is that the project also became pretty famous. So we were one of the four finalists. There's a very big international award in London, the RLI, and we were one of the four finalists in the world.
Oh,
Finally,
wow.
the Chinese won, unfortunately.
Mm.
But but also I had the privilege because of that. I was for a period of time part of the editorial board of the magazine Shopping Center Business. That is
Oh,
the France publications did it, and so that was something that also started becoming pretty well known, and that's where I finished that project. We had a very friendly separation with the actual money that came from the Costa Rica, a very well-off family. And so after that, I started doing some consulting and also some expert witness work.
ah,
We have two kind of sister companies, Realty Capital and Urbana Partners. That is really the one I'm more focused. And that brings me to date. I spent, gosh, 50% of my time last year in South Korea advising a project that is very big. It's a multi-billion-dollar project. If we are in the Bay Area, you probably the best way of describing it's like building two Salesforce towers and a shopping center, a cultural center by the Seoul Forest. So it's connected by a bridge that has like 200 yards wide.
oh, wow.
So again, my role there is I'm advisor to the chairman.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because of my background, they were very, very interested in this different type of points of view about coordination of all the disciplines, as well as right now I'm really focusing quite a lot in the digital side, the smart building side, because as you probably know, there's with all AI and things happening, a lot of the technologies are going to become obsolete before the project is actually finished.
Oh,
So
right, right. Yeah, right.
what way do you try? What is the fancy word they use now? Resilience. How do you design all the smart building components in a way that you can facilitate as much as possible the upgrade and the continuous technological change that will be needed to be
Mm.
able to offer a guest experience that is always evolving. And I can tell you, South Korea, the young, and when I say the young, it's not only teenagers, I'm talking about all the the young professionals. For them, digital and physical is totally seamless. Is
Right, right.
if we think we get it, they are like totally, totally. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So that in a way makes this aspect of the project that is only one of the aspects, but makes it very challenging. So I'm kind of focusing on that, and then I'm acting in a board of a pretty big group in Mexico,
Oh,
and that is mostly a group that does high-rise housing. Not necessarily they have one of their brands as high-end, but they do mostly focus on middle income, and
Right.
they have a very big, significant part of the market share of that market. That is huge, correct?
In Mexico City or all over
Yeah,
Mexico?
well, not anymore in the sense that yes, Mexico City, but now they are in many other states as well.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
when I joined in as board member, I should say we were doing only Mexico City.
Mm,
Nowadays, very strong in Guadalajara and then some other areas, Chihuahua, and then also because of their reputation, the government who is launching a very aggressive housing um, initiative is asking them to build. They were ever government contractors. But this time now, the government is asking that they can also build housing for subsidized housing for the government. So that is call it a new we call it a new vertical
oh, interesting.
in terms
Yeah.
of the yeah,
So
and that's brand new.
Mexico has not really gone into affordable housing previously. They don't have
Yes,
tax
they
credit
had,
approach.
but they had paid dearly. Oh gosh, we can talk a lot about affordable housing if you want, but the problem with affordable housing, and I'm not familiar with what actually have been done in Mexico before, but I can tell you in other countries, it's usually that because there's no cheap land, they end up building very cheap housing very far away of where the jobs are.
Oh,
So that's unfortunately is occurs
right,
when people look at affordable housing just in number of units. Houses are not cars, so you
right,
cannot just say number of units. Actually, Brazil had a very successful um, solution in the 90s, but that again changed when the administrations changed. That's the problem with government
right.
programs. They tend to,
They changed too much.
yeah. Well, we see it here, correct? You have one
Yeah.
administration, the next one comes. Oh, that's terrible. No, no, no. Let's go back and imagine here that it's a little bit more organized. In other countries, it becomes pretty difficult. Yeah,
Yeah, chaos.
yeah.
Yeah. So Brazil, I'm sure, went through the ups and downs all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
very, very, very magnificent country, very powerful. But it's the change in administration tends to be um, the pendulum tends to be wider.
yeah.
So
Oh, right,
you
right.
follow what I mean?
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
something that is at least regarding real estate. I'm not. Please, I don't want to go into politics. In
No.
real estate, it pays if you have no surprises, if it stays close to the center,
Right,
correct?
right.
Because it allows you to plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When someone starts with the wild ones, is the one you freaked out because it increases your risk. That's the
Right,
bottom line.
right.
So
Everything is
yeah, please,
much
I'm
more
I'm
difficult.
just talking business here. Okay. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, but okay, let's look into the crystal ball a little bit. What do you see moving forward in terms of, well, I'm very intrigued with the Korean development because I think that in some ways is going to lead the future in terms of digital and development being integrated
yeah,
into one experience.
yeah. I look. That's something that the role of the developer used to be I develop buildings, not anymore. That happened already a decade ago. You better have a very good operation. And I'm not using the word property management. I'm
Right,
using the
right,
word operation.
right,
Okay. And I think most of the big companies are totally beyond that. Nowadays, you have all this incredible integration with the digital world, and now it's coming. Imagine, probably in 5 years, as I said, when this project is finished, the young people there are going to use glasses with augmented reality. So
right,
it's a total different, and you better know what you're doing there. You have to know about geofencing, you have to know about beaconing, because if not, your development, I don't care how nice it is, who was the architect, it's not gonna be able to, keep up with the times. It's going to be
But
slowly obsolete,
I think in some ways, Las Vegas is leading the US in terms of that
probably. Yes.
experience. The sphere itself is just
Yes.
such a new experience.
Correct.
People are loving it. And
Correct.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of leading the way here in the US. And I suspect that Korea is on board with that whole approach.
Yeah. And look at even in the office world that I know is hurting a lot because of all this working, not only the AI, but also working at home. But when you listen to the people who are doing that, they now sounds like hotels developers.
Yeah, right,
You
right.
know, you
Exactly.
cannot have it if you don't have the thing, the other, and the concierge. And, so that now we're adding another layer. For example, in Oxygen, we had even a TV studio inside the project.
Right,
And
right.
we would transmit from there. And actually, part of the thing that was for us very useful is that the same family who was supporting where I was working with, they also owned the cable TV
Oh,
company,
wow.
or sorry, not the cable TV in terms of transmission, but actually the cable infrastructure.
Oh,
So our
wow.
latency was incredibly low, and it became one of the hubs in Latin America for e-games.
Oh, wow.
And e-games, actually, the people from Riot Games, who now is Chinese, used to be American, they actually flew to Costa Rica to allow that several of the most important events were done there.
Oh,
Uh, just to give you an idea, you said, why Costa Rica? Well, Costa Rica had a B team that actually is called Infinity. And that team in 2019 or 18 was the only team that defeated the Chinese in a not final. It was an unimportant game, but 60 million people were watching it.
oh, wow.
It was an unimportant game.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
EE
so
games are huge.
if you don't have your building prepared to face that type of changes, like for example, we were lucky, I can tell you when we were discussing Oxygen, I was already for a different story, I was familiar with e-game and how much they were growing. That is part of the challenges now. Not only talking about, is my building going to be up to date or flexible enough, and being able to keep up to date, not only the physical side, but all in the experiential side, and now it's the digital side.
Right,
And,
right.
that is fascinating. And that, frankly, that's what people call us. Um, the, the it is unavoidable that you have to face that. And with all due respect, here in America, I found it too risk averse sometimes to
Oh,
adopt
interesting.
these new solutions, because
Ah,
sometimes they are not proven. They're not
right,
proven.
right.
Sometimes, yeah, do I have black eyes? I always tell my customers and the people I work with, the young people, I'm not the smartest one, but probably have more knife in my bag than you do. Okay. I
Yeah,
have way more scars than you. Way more.
yeah.
So that qualifies me for this one. But yeah, I have scars and all the people. And here, unfortunately, the funding has become so institutionalized. So institutionalized. Frankly, the decision is not made by a maverick. The decision is made by a manager. With all
Oh,
due
yeah.
respect, I can be a manager too. But what is the risk profile? Usually pretty low, pretty low. So that's why you're seeing in architecture, even look at you always have exceptions that prove the rule of some emblematic buildings, but in general, the most interesting architecture is not happening in America now.
No, that is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and part of the reason is the funding.
You're right,
Part
right,
of the reason, not the only one, by the way, but part of the reason is the funding. Then you have the regulations that are terrible in some
right,
ways,
right.
and all this regulatory environment. But that is something that I think would help a lot to have a little bit in mind what the challenges are and what the other competitors are doing, because is the way that we can stay leading and not following.
Yeah, we just came back from Copenhagen and they have a $2 billion opera facility
Yeah,
there that it was funded by one of the shipping firms. So
correct.
anyway, uh, amazing architecture in that city. And
Yeah,
the US, the Salesforce Tower, at least here in San Francisco, was kind of the last big gasp.
correct.
And maybe they're going to do a little bit more, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I'm look, the irony is that a lot of the know-how is US professionals. Like, frankly, I myself, I've been here 50 years, so I think I can say I'm a US professional, but providing services to create these new environments in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
And being in Silicon Valley is even more offensive. You know?
It's all happening. Well,
Yeah,
it's
we are
happening
the cutting
here, but
edge.
but
Yeah,
it's happening in South Korea and
correct,
Europe
correct.
and a bunch of
Yeah.
other places.
And you see some of the solutions we are implementing here, and it looks like we're from the 50s. I'm talking now
Yeah,
real estate development, okay?
yeah,
And you
yeah.
say, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, we can't even build a high-speed rail. So,
Correct. Well,
yeah.
there you go. Another one. But
Well, this has been incredibly intriguing. Herman, where can people get a hold of you?
well, I think you put an email there. Usually my Urbana Partners email is the best way of getting a hold of me. I apologize if I take time, but truly I travel a lot. I really do. And
Well, you're
sometimes in timetable, in time differences that kill me because people say, "Oh, he's not answering." Well, I'm sleeping. It's
you're 8 hours
going on.
ahead or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, I think, and I don't know if you want, I can send you my email and contact info. I don't know how to.
I have that, and I look
Okay,
forward to conversing with you again in the next 3 to 6 months and see what you're up to.
that sounds great.
I
Thank you
look
very
forward
much.
to
And
it.
again, thanks a million for the invitation. I really appreciate it.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.